You know, sometimes I wonder what it would be like to live in complete isolation away from society, away from the conveniences of everyday life, and just the hustle and bustle, the rat races and the noise. And I start thinking about that when I come out to places like this, like the Sal del Rey. And I especially start thinking about that when things in life seem a little bit crazy or, I'm really going through it sometimes. So it's just nice to kind of come out here and just get away from it all. And it's not like I live in a bad part of the Rio Grande Valley, but it's definitely not the most ideal. I still hear a lot of noise, a lot of sirens, endless dogs barking, loose dogs. I've got neighbors close by. So it's just, I don't know, not particularly my vibe at the moment. And so that gets me thinking, what would it be like to live out in the boons, in the sticks, in the country? I kind of got a little taste of it when I was vacationing in Bandera, Texas. The hill country is beautiful. I was staying in this really cool cabin, and I don't know, I've been kind of missing that ever since I left there. There is something so peaceful and beautiful about being out here, and I've missed it so much. It's been quite a bit since I've been out to the Sal just because the weather has been absolutely terrible. We didn't actually get our first cold front until Halloween night, but the reason why I've been really wanting to come out here is that I've just been feeling kind of bad these last couple of months, and I'm just trying to reset myself. I've been still struggling with this whole learning guitar, finding the will to play, and trying to see if there's a passion there because I do enjoy playing, but I've just really struggled to find the motivation to practice. And I've even had to question myself, is this something I even want to do? And that, of course, evoked a bunch of different emotions about, not wanting to give up, especially at something that I've come quite a bit a ways at. So, I've been dealing with all of that internally. And just this past month, it just hadn't really felt like good vibes, spooky vibes because of the weather. And I had gotten really sick and it just threw up a bunch of my plans. So I don't know, it's just been a hitch in my giddy up. And I'm just so glad that now I get to come out here and kind of, reset and think about how grateful I am to have a place like this to come and just relax and kind of refocus. When I think about the solitude of living out in a place like this, because there are houses, properties near here, I wonder about the longevity of it. I imagine that it can be a little bit jarring to try to get used to it. The silence and then the sounds of all the wildlife nearby. But maybe you'd get used to it. And in the same breath as me wanting space away from people and in a place that's a little more relaxed, would I miss, connection? Pretty sure I'd still be near my family and all of that, but I don't know, it's just something to think about. Wow, I hope you guys can see what I just saw. I just heard like these weird bird noises in the trees, and it's not uncommon to like hear chachalacas or maybe hawks or garagaras, but then these, I don't know, stork-like birds just came from behind the tree line and just flew towards the lake. I've never seen those or heard those before, and I almost want to cry because I love seeing wildlife, particularly birds as of late. Whoops. Particularly birds as of late. And I don't know, I just have like this special connection when it comes to animals. Especially when I'm like, I really wish I could see something like right now. And it's happened a couple of times where I've seen like a cool osprey or some deer, javelinas, but that was just magical. I have never ever seen those before out here. I really wonder what they are. You know what? I'm taking seeing those birds as a sign. It made me a little emotional because I asked for a sign recently because I lost one of my cats. Literally found her on Halloween, and I've been having a real hard time. She passed away unexpectedly, and I asked for a sign for her to show me that she was in a better place and she was with her siblings, and I'm taking that. And I think it's important when you're out here in places like these to appreciate what you get to see that maybe you otherwise wouldn't. And so I feel pretty good. I feel renewed and recharged, and couldn't have asked for a better bike ride over here at Sal del Rey. It's getting pretty dark, so I'm gonna hike it back over here on the bike, and I will see y'all next time.